Welcome, everyone. It's fantastic to have you here for another episode of the Raider Ragu Show, brought to you by the They Follow from Burnus Network. We're so excited to dive into today's topic with you. Our goal is always to bring you content that's not only engaging, but also leaves you with something valuable to think about. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We truly appreciate you tuning in and being with us.
Yo, what up, Raider Nation? Welcome in to another episode of the Raider Ragu Show. Check it. So, before we get started, we're going to get into some things about the coaching staff and their philosophy on some of the players and whatnot and what's been going on in the OTAs. But first, let's get a like, share, comment, subscribe. Please get an auto download on the audio portion, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Pods, iHeart Music, wherever you get your pods. Go ahead and give us an auto download right over there. And let's not forget our sponsor, shebangboutique.com. That's SHEE bangboutique.com. Go over there and get your girl something fly. Word up. Appreciate you. All right, so let's get into it, man. So first of all, we into the dog days, if you would, of the off season. Not much going on. OTAs, you don't get much coming from the teams at this time, because especially when it's a new staff, everybody's kind of learning everybody in a situation like this that the Raiders find themselves in again, right? So a lot of times there's not a lot of info coming out. There is slow info coming out, and these guys are in heavy eval mode, right? So let's continue on with our focus on the coaches, the coaching staff. This time around, we're going to listen and break down Andrew Janocko. So him and Clint Kubiak are real tight, and make no mistake about it, they are the brain trust of this offense. I want you to listen to what he says about him and Clint.
You obviously have a good relationship with Clint. You guys have worked together a long time, but this is a different dynamic, right? The head coach and OC. I guess, how have you kind of talked about how to approach that part of the new responsibilities and roles that you have?
I think that's something we grow every day. It's maybe not something that you sit down and write out every single thing, but it's something we grow with every single day. And we have a relationship where we can talk about everything. Really, we talk about everything we have for several years. Whether it be X's and O's, whether it be how we're breaking the huddle, whether it be what Will and Izzy are studying in school that week. But it's just having that relationship where we can talk to each other about anything and everything, and that's how that relationship grows and falls. We see something that needs fixed, we fix it, whether it be between us and our communication or the entire offense.
So that kind of gives you an idea. These guys are on the same page. They're going to be having a continuity of message, right, which is critical. Last year, the Raiders did not have that. They had guys that got hired by the owner, hired by the GM. You know what I mean? The guys were all over, hired by Brady. Guys were all over on the staff. It wasn't a cohesive unit. It wasn't unity of message. It wasn't continuity of message. It wasn't speaking the same voice, the same language. People were probably getting in those, coaches were probably getting in those position groups and saying all kind of wild stuff, thinking that they knew better or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like that was important to hear that part. Also now, the way that these guys are going to attack defenses, the way that they're going to deploy their players, I thought it was interesting to hear what he had to say about the two main guys, Genty and Bowers. Bowers specifically. Check it out.
Genty and getting to work with them.
Just finding ways to get the ball in their hands. Those guys are talents. They're proven talent. Brock's been a proven talent. Ashton's done a lot of great stuff early in his career. So just finding ways to maximize how and when they touch the ball, finding ways to get them open, and then maximizing anytime they have the ball in their hands.
On the back end of that, can you just describe Brock Bowers, like his approach to the game? What are some things, just your first impression of him, that make him different or stand out compared to any other tight end you've worked with?
He's, I've been blessed to be a part of some great tight end groups and be around some great tight end groups, and Brock certainly fits into that, right into those guys. And when you have a great tight end that can do stuff for your offense, that can change games, that can change the way you attack defenses. So just seeing Brock and his approach, he has that approach where he just comes to work every single day, and the guys around him, same with Mike, all those guys in that room, they just come to work. They know what to do, they know how to do it, and then they strive to get better. So seeing Brock, seeing Mike in that room, those guys, and then lead the rest of the offense, it's something that we feel very strongly about, and something that as we grow, it's something we hope that helps to contribute to our success.
What's the expectations for Trey Tucker in this offense?
Like all those guys, that entire room, don't want to just single out one guy, but all these guys maximizing their potential, getting the best out of Trey, taking what he's done good, and then maximizing that, and then trying to get specific things for him and every guy to work on, coming up with a plan for each guy and how to maximize them, how to get the ball in their hands, and what they do once they get the ball in their hands.
So he spoke about the guard position as well, and that the way that they are approaching it inside the guard room just lets me know it's fierce competition in there, right? Caleb Rogers, Trey Zoom can play guard, JPJ, Meredith can play guard, Burford, the guy that they just got from San Francisco, plays guard. Mafi, who I don't think Mafi's that good of a player, but Mafi's still there. He plays guard. So it's tremendous competition at the guard position. It sounds as if Charles Grant might have the tackle, not Charles Grant, but DJ Glaze might retain his job over there at the right tackle. And we know the center is Tyler, the center, and we know Colton's going to play left tackle. But those two guard positions are very much up for grabs, and it's a heavy competition in that room. And listen to what he says about that.
Thoughts on Caleb Rogers so far?
He's a guy that keeps working, keeps improving. All those guys in that position, it's a really enjoyable room to be around because every day they're helping each other and they really push each other. Every morning, in the mornings I love to go in and see those guys, and maybe I get a joke out of one of the guys, but they're in there, they put in extra time. So whether it's Caleb or any of the other guys in the room, just seeing that effort that they're putting into growing their mental and physical abilities, growing their conditioning, all the stuff that we hope to build through this OTA period so we can ramp up into training camp.
So overall, I like what these guys are bringing to the table as a staff, man. They seem more sound in their approach of what they're doing in today's football. Janocko and Clint Kubiak have been together for many years, as we talked about earlier. Here's their philosophy of what they think about the offensive side of the ball.
That goes back a long way. That's something we believe in. Whether it started with the quarterback position, but it really is everything about our offense that we build ourselves. We build our brains, and then we build ourselves from the ground up. So if you're listening to your feet, whether you're a quarterback and you're progressing on time within your footwork, or you're an offensive line and you're gaining ground on your first step, or you're a receiver and how are my feet helping to contribute to my route depth? All those things. Are we gaining ground on our first step in the wide zone? So everything, our building blocks start there.
So as you could see, very detailed. And someone asked a great question also about the changing and evolving of the ideas of the offense, of what they want to do with players as they learn players, as these OTAs and rookie mini camp that's soon to start, not rookie mini camp, but mandatory mini camp that's about to start, versus the film that they saw, that they watched of these guys when they came in. And I think it was interesting what he had to say here.
We're in a receiver role and open the possibility of probably put Michael out there a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get the best 11 on the field whenever we can. We're gonna try to, that's what we're using OTAs for. The way that we can utilize these guys to the best of their abilities. Learning ourselves, learning our personnel is something that we're doing right now. What are the guys? What are the guys' route trees? What do they do well in the run game? How are they helping in protection? All that stuff. So, and maybe not one thing in particular as far as lining one guy up one place, but just learning the guys right now and how to maximize their ability.
So overall, I like the attention to detail. I like the fact that he's on the same page with the head coach in lockstep. He's coached in the past wide receivers, quarterbacks, and O-line, right? So he's got a background in all that, so he knows what he's talking about. And it's very detailed, and these guys don't seem like they are playing around or messing around when it comes to offensive football. They have a legitimate philosophy down to the step, to the listening to your feet and all that. And I just think these guys are not going to rest until they are successful. They approach it very seriously, and Andrew Janocko is very hands-on. I watch practice. He's the one out there installing everything and basically coaching up the offense. Kubiak has to walk around now and kind of supervise the whole thing with a specific emphasis on offense, but he can't be hands-on. So that's Janocko now. That was Kubiak before, right? That was Kubiak last year. So now we see why Kubiak brought on Mike McCoy. So Mike McCoy is a guy that's been a head coach. So he can help Kubiak in the navigating the head coaching part of it. But Janocko has Kubiak to help him navigate the offensive coordinator part of it, right? Him coming from a quarterback coach to a OC, he's got his boy Kubiak right there to help him transition with that. So he also mentioned the veteran coach, Mike Sullivan. We also know Rick Dennison is the O-line coach, has been with the Kubiaks forever, won 4 Super Bowls, and they always run the football well when Dennison shows up. So this is what we're doing on offense, guys. I'm cautiously optimistic right now. I can't wait to preseason just to see it. So let me get along what you guys think. I ain't going to hold you. Just win, baby. Baby.
You mentioned the experienced coaches that you all have on staff. A lot of guys that have worked with quarterbacks, and then you have a veteran like Kirk. All of you are speaking to a young quarterback in Fernando. How do you make sure that you guys are all working in concert together and not confusing or getting wires crossed for a rookie?
Yeah, I think it's just about having one singular voice and us being all together on it. Whether it's Clint, myself, Sully, any of the guys that step in that position room, making sure that we have our wires together, that we're making sure that we give one singular voice, whether it be to Kirk, whether it be to Aiden, or whether it be to Fernando, that when those guys hear that, they understand that there's a clear message, and if it's not clear, we get it fixed right away.
Cool. All right, thanks guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Raider Ragu Show. Don't forget to download the show, like, comment, and subscribe for more Raiders content. Follow us on YouTube at Raider Ragu for updates and behind-the-scenes action. Stay loyal. Raider Nation will see you next time.